Hey, and welcome to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.
Well, this was another Ted pick. He put me on this one. I'm seeing a theme in Ted's movie preferences here. He likes a little bit on the suspense horror type. This week we watched The Watcher.
Yeah.
Or I binged The Watcher.
Did it suck you in?
Well, I after I watched the first episode, I didn't know if I was going to watch the second episode because it was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was again, I get into it, and I get down in that 3-point stance, and when somebody
Fire
says
off the ball.
somebody says hike, I go, and so that's what I did with this, and I was glad that it kind of mellowed down for the next couple of episodes. I mean, I'm not, and I say that, but it was continuously suspenseful. But I will say I was disappointed.
Okay.
I was disappointed because there was no conclusion.
Yeah, that's the only problem with it. I was gonna say,
I wanted this to be over.
yeah,
It's not.
there's no conclusion. That's the Ryan Murphy as a creator. Ryan Murphy did Glee and did American Horror Story. It's the same with American Horror Story. Every season I've tried to watch, I'm like, yeah, and then it doesn't end, and I'm like, what? Like, I haven't watched American Horror Story in a hot minute because of that, but I'm like, can we just get an ending?
I gotta have closure. I gotta, and there was no closure here.
And it's so hard for us to talk about the show at all because the whole point is you want to get all the suspense that's built up, and we will ruin it for anybody that listens.
Right. And not a spoiler alert because it's out in the trades, whether it's real or not, but there's a season 2. So, it's when we say that there's no conclusion. Maybe in season 2 there will be a conclusion.
I think they're just going to keep having different families move into that house.
They bought into a good thing, and apparently, people liked it. It was a quick turnaround. It's only been out for, 30, 45 days, not even.
I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
But it's number 1 on Netflix. Maybe number something else this week, but it was number 1.
Yeah, I can say it. I mean, I didn't think after episode 1 I was gonna be there for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, it's a seven episode series. But I was, and I was trying to figure it out, and I.
You didn't, because nobody else did either.
Right. Well, I have, and I'm gonna, I think, watch season 2 because if it's real, and there's going to be, because I have a theory. I have a theory behind who's behind it. It's not a who.
It's a they.
It's a consortium.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The creepiest part is probably that consortium you're talking about.
Right. And you can Google this, and we're not going to give anything away because you can, matter of fact, it talks about it in the synopsis of what The Watcher is online. It is about this house. Where was that house?
It's in it's in Long Island.
Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real story. It's based on real life happenings, and there's just a house over there with some bad mojo, so
I've been to Long Island quite a bit in my travels. I don't remember seeing. I guess in the very wealthy part of Long Island, there's that.
Yeah, I've never been to Long Island, if that's where they shot it, it's beautiful. I mean, big homes over there. I can't believe it. I can't remember what the name of the little town there was, because they talk about it constantly.
Yeah. They have a country club.
Yeah.
Since we can't, I don't want to ruin the show for people. Let's talk about the performances because there's quite a few really good ones.
Right.
Like Christopher McDonald, who you would know from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin, he's great. What's her name? Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, she's in
She
everything.
kills it.
She's in everything.
She is, but who kills it the most for me in this show
Who? I'm ready.
is what's her name?
Naomi Watts?
No. From Rosemary's Baby.
Oh. Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow.
Mia
That's
Farrow.
it. Mia Farrow is
Brain fart.
so
Oh, yeah.
creepy.
Well, yes. She was. Everybody played well together in drawing the suspense, especially those outside of, we'll call them the family, the occupants.
Yeah.
And that's why while we don't have an answer, I think I know who it is, and it's this consortium of neighbors.
Margot Martindale, isn't that her name?
Yeah, Martindale.
And then Richard Kind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the supporting cast in the show is ridiculous.
Right. And the leads were Naomi Watts and Bobby
Cannavale.
Yeah. Thank you for pronouncing that for me. And I'm going to say, you know what? His performance reminded me of basically the same performance, and he'd probably say it's the same role that he gave in Nine Strangers, starring Nicole Kidman, where...
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, yeah, that's a Hulu original, I believe.
Okay.
But Nine Strangers go to this therapy camp.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I didn't watch it.
And he's an ex-athlete in the show, and he's just trying to get his life back together, like everybody else that's at this camp, this thing. But anyway, and it's not saying that was a bad performance, because he was great in that, and he was really great in this, and he but
he's good in almost anything he's in. The only thing I've ever seen him be bad in that I was just like, and this is crazy because it's probably the only thing Scorsese ever made that was bad, but I didn't think he was good in that show that was about rock and roll, whatever magazine or whatever record label, the one that came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Record label, what is it?
Well, I have an internet machine, so I'll tell
There you go, yeah.
But
Not Almost Famous. He's not in that. No.
This is a show that came out. I think it's like, is it Smash or something? That's not it, but I'm going to tell you right now. It is. He's in a lot of stuff. Give me a second. Wow, how much stuff is he in?
I bet he's not in as much stuff as Ethan Hawke has been in. This is going off of last week's episode. My gosh, that guy's working.
Yeah, Vinyl.
No,
Did
I
you ever
didn't
see that?
No.
It was an HBO show, and it was just like not.
When did that come out? Does it say?
2016.
All right, so 6 years ago. I didn't have HBO 6 years ago.
Well, he's so he's playing this like coked up record producer sort of guy, and he's like the guy you're following, but like
Right.
he is so amped up the whole time. It's hard to like watch him. That's the only thing I've ever been like, I don't love this.
I'll have to check that out. But I thought he did great. Naomi Watts. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she did wonderful.
She did, and it's not my sphere of movies, and but I enjoyed it. I mean, I had to watch. Here, this is what happened. I watched the first episode, and I started the second episode and stopped it. I was like, okay, because it was like 8 o'clock at night. And I knew from past experience this could lead to a very bad night of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's find something. Let's go watch shorts on YouTube and get this out of my mind so I don't go to bed, living through episode 1. And but the next day I came back, and I think I ended up watching 3 episodes that next night, and then the next night 2, and then I was done. And
I didn't even mean to watch this. When we were just thinking of things. So
right,
my lady was watching it, and in the background, I'm like making dinner and like, oh, stupid show. I don't care about this. It's, let's watch a horror. It's Halloween. And I just started to steadily kind of pick up, and I was like, okay. And then I ended up eating dinner while episode 2 was on, and I was like, okay. And then I just binged the last of them.
yeah. Well, again, once you got started, and of course the cast. I mean, how could that not just attract you right from the get go? I mean, when you start seeing these faces and you're like, oh, well, that's talent.
There's not a weak link in that cast.
I cannot tell you off the top of my head, and that's bad. I should be able to. The young lady who played the daughter, and the young man who played the
Boyfriend?
Boyfriend, yeah,
Okay.
the security guy.
Yeah.
They did great.
They killed it.
They did great.
And they were the only 2 people I didn't know who they were.
I apologize to whoever you are if you're listening. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be paying attention to your work down the road because you guys did a great job, and so. But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I don't get into that kind of stuff, and.
It looked very. You can just tell Ryan Murphy did it. You can tell the American Horror Story guy did it because it looks. While not a horror, he can build suspense in an extreme way.
Well,
It's impressive.
yeah, he did. There's no disappointment there again, and he got me hooked, and I was very disappointed.
Now we got to watch season 2.
I was very disappointed that there was no ending. There was no conclusion.
None. There's a fake conclusion that I was like, oh, okay. And then it's pulled out from under you, and I'm like, this is over? That's exactly what my head said.
Let's talk about that. Do you know? That was one thing in watching this that bothered me, and that was that it was almost contrived of how many different possibilities there were.
Yeah.
And, the introduction of the motive of this character and the introduction of the motive of that character. And I still haven't wrapped my head around the faking, and it's a little spoiler here. What didn't happen to Margot Martindale. Mm-hmm. And, they played that up. The son came in, and again, I don't want to give you a spot.
Yeah, they didn't really tie it together and finish it.
No.
They just left it out there.
Well, that's a big deal.
Huge.
I mean, if that happens at your next door neighbor, the cops are there, okay? And a week later, it's like it's all erased.
It's forgotten about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. In reality, that's called filing a false police report.
Uh-huh.
And that's a criminal charge.
Since you're getting a little spoilery, I'll get a little spoilery. Here's one for you. Here's a better one for you. There's a tunnel underneath your house that someone has been living in. And we do not talk about it after they come one time. They're like, yeah, we'll just seal it up. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Where does it come out? Who is here? Can we dust for fingerprints? Can we figure something? I mean, that is the minute I would have been like, I can't live here anymore. Which is what they did.
Right. But it was just constantly. That was the one thing. It was like once you grabbed onto something, there was this whole new option. Mm-hmm. And I think you knew going into it about the tunnel and the basement and all that.
Yeah,
there was a lot of emphasis on the front end, about we're going to remodel the basement, we're going to make a man cave,
Yeah.
and all that, and so
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, there's something in the basement.
But I mean, that was genuinely like, I was like, that's terrifying. Like just a tunnel, and
I kept waiting for the camera to take us down into the basement. I mean, there was very little, if no action in the basement, other than a couple of cutaways, and then the moment we realized that there's this tunnel.
they just talk about it.
And then, yeah. And so it was, and the attic. I wanted more in the attic. And it was just, attics are scary places. And there just wasn't, matter of fact, it became the nerve center of they're trying to figure out who's behind all this.
Yeah.
The scariest place in the house, other than the basement.
Is the attic.
Yeah. And here they've converted it into headquarters.
Yeah.
So
Let's go up here and drink wine and talk about.
right, yeah.
They had a very good. They had good chemistry together.
Yeah, they did. They did. And this isn't a spoiler because if you watch it, it's really meaningless. But they left it with the music playing through the intercom in the attic.
Yeah.
Then it was done. Mm-hmm. There was more to that. They never really played on that. Again, I enjoyed watching the series. I thought it was very loose in the storyline because there were so many added possibilities in this whodunit, or who's doing it. I guess not a whodunit. It's who's doing it.
Yeah, who's currently doing it?
Yeah. And
Who is the actor that plays the English teacher that wrote the original Watcher letters that he had his class? I swore, and I looked this up when I was watching. I was like, he looks so familiar.
Yeah.
I think he's just one of those character actors that has been around for a long time.
I'm unable to go on and line and pull his name up, but
I'm
and he
gonna
came
go
in.
on.
He came on in later in the series, and again it was just another one of those. Where are we going now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that was the shortcoming for me with this series was everybody was a suspect. Everybody.
Henry Hunter Hall is the boy's name, Dakota.
Yeah.
And Isabel Gravitt is Ellie.
Ellie did great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But
Michael Nori, that is his name. Yes, and he was in Flashdance and all sorts of stuff. He's been in a million things.
All right.
But yeah,
he did look familiar. Yeah, he did a great job. But again, I was disappointed when he came. I loved the concept of it's hard to say stuff without giving it away.
They need to watch it. But,
Yeah.
But I mean, even if we're not giving away the big twists.
No. But again, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, seriously. Everybody was a suspect.
Everybody.
Except for the ferret
Yeah.
and the son.
That's it. The sun was clean.
Spoiler alert. The 11-year-old son
Is not the guy.
not the guy. But if anybody else
Or the lady.
or the lady.
Yeah, because, no one knows.
Which one? Which lady?
No, what I'm saying, it's
Oh.
whoever the watcher is.
Right.
You don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
No, you don't. And
But
I
overall,
was going to say it because Jennifer Coolidge's character was a suspect. The private investigator, she was a suspect.
well, that's the issue, or that's why you're drawn into it,
and-
because everybody, the way they're making it makes you feel like that's it.
It's too many. I mean, even the family became suspects.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it was anyway.
So what do you recommend people? I give this like a 6 out of 10, and
I think that's fair.
I enjoyed it, But now I was annoyed at the end of it,
Right.
the last episode. But now that you just told me it got greenlit for season 2, now I'm like, okay, I'm like you. I'm like, bring me back.
Yeah, well, I gotta have closure.
I gotta have closure.
I've got to have closure.
But it was fun.
maybe the house gets blown up or something in season 2.
Something.
That's the only closure we're gonna get.
Something. I just want to know who wrote these letters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to know. But that was the downfall for me was, great, because by the end of episode 2, you've got a nice list of possible suspects. And that list in episode 3 and 4 and
Just
5
keeps going.
and 6, it even grew in episode 7 in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's let's do something. Let's stop. Let's pause. Let's have a little character development here, and let's draw my eyes or keep my eyes on these balls in the mix right now. Don't throw another ball in there. There's no need for it, because even with the 4 or 5 suspects, I can't figure it out, because they're all creepy and they're all great, and whether it's Mia Farrow's character.
I had no idea that was Mia Farrow till I looked it up. I had not seen her in so long in anything.
I guess it was episode 3 when it hit me, because I was like, oh my god, and I just kept going to Sissy Spacek right off the get go.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then in episode 3, it was like, oh, that's Mia Farrow.
But you don't see her a lot. She's not in a lot of stuff.
No.
Because she's 75 years old now. But
Well, she nailed her role.
she nailed it.
She
Needs
it doesn't
that's
get any-
Emmy consideration right there.
It really is.
It's real good.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. No, that was because she really. Yeah, you. I would hate to have her as a neighbor.
It'd be the worst.
Oh.
I'd hate to live in that neighborhood, to be honest with you.
The moment I moved in and she came over to welcome me, I would be, back up the car. We're going.
Yeah. I think she reminded you of Sissy Spacek because she had a real strange Carrie horror movie vibe going on.
Yeah.
Not like Carrie, but just that vibe, like a chitted dark vibe. Something's off with this person.
Yeah. No, the moment she and her brother Jasper, that name is going to never go away, because and I can't tell you the actor who did that.
But you've seen him in 1,000 things. He's been in a million things. He's just that guy.
And he did a great job too. But I was if I was the family moving into that house and they were my neighbors,
I'd get right back out.
yeah, I don't care what New York City was doing to me.
It's not that bad.
I am not living next to that lady.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's just no way. No way. So, anyway, The Watcher 7-part series on Netflix. Great cast. It's very suspenseful. And the only spoiler is there's a season 2, because season 1
doesn't end.
Right. I don't. Maybe it's a continuation. Maybe
We shall see.
Yeah, Dad wasn't giving up on that place.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Nope.
So, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to be tuning in for season 2, reluctantly, because it's just not my jam. But
I'm sorry.
I'm going to watch that.
We're going to get in some fun, family-friendly shows and things coming up.
Right.
Scary season is over.
I need it because, while we're not focusing podcasts on or shows on other shows right now, because they're just, I printed out today a list just for the month of November of all these originals that are coming out in the month of November alone, and it was over 50.
Yeah, it's too much.
I mean, it's a lot, but that's why we're here. We are here to help guide you through what's good, what's bad, what you shouldn't watch, or suggest what you shouldn't watch, and what you should really do. And next week we've got a good one that we're going to be taking a look at, and 'tis the season.
'Tis the season. Let's do some holidays.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was going to say was, because there's so much coming out on our YouTube page, we're going to start doing these little shorts of okay, we're going to watch them, and we're not going to talk about them in length, but we're going to thumbs up them, thumbs down them. Siskel and Ebert, thank you for that.
I'm into that.
And we'll let you know, because I watched God Forbid, which was a documentary. It just came out this last week. It might deserve a show down the road, but wow, that was much more than a documentary.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. You've sold me on it.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what else did I watch? My Policeman with Harry Styles. So, there's so much coming out. We're going to start doing these shorts on our YouTube channel, and Ted's going to do them when he sees something and grab his phone driving down the road.
I got a big old ring light at my house. I'll flip it around. It'll look professional.
There you go. And I'm going to do them here, and but next week, let's talk about next week, because I'm really excited about this, because it is the season, and I think the family tradition is used to be, for me, when Polar Express came out. Mm-hmm. That became my must-watch every year Christmas movie. My wife's was Elf.
Okay.
She's got to watch that every year, and she'll watch it 20 times. And then Kurt Russell.
Oh, that was great. I loved that first one. The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus, yeah. I love both of them.
Yeah, the musical number in the second one I could live without. But yes.
Yeah.
I love that she's in it, too. That's the cutest thing ever.
Oh, yeah. So if you haven't seen Santa Claus, is there going to be a third? Are they doing one for this year?
I don't know.
Is this becoming
No, but they are doing an action movie coming out in theaters about a Santa, like an action Santa, with David Harbour from Stranger Things, and it looks awesome.
Okay, you watch that.
I'm going to watch it. I'll give them a little review to everybody. I'm going to go to the movie theater and watch it.
Do a short on that one. But anyway, yeah, these things are just, they're good. They're coming out, and it's, it's not Charlie Brown. Sorry. Mm-hmm. We had 30, 40, 50 years of those. And, so I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be a annual let's watch. Spirited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes out on Apple TV. Will Ferrell.
Ryan Reynolds.
That's
a good combo.
We talked a couple of weeks ago about Will. I can only digest a certain amount of Will.
We'll see what happens.
The man who killed NASCAR. So, but yeah, and again, but Ryan Reynolds.
Love Ryan Reynolds.
How can you not? I mean, nobody plays a funnier straight guy than Ryan Reynolds.
He's just funny.
I mean, Ryan Gosling can play a funny straight guy, and I'd like to see the Ryan and the two Ryans in a movie together.
Yeah, have a Ryan off.
Yeah. So
I think Gosling would take him in that, but they're both pretty.
You think he would?
I think Gosling's really good. I think he's really funny too. Even in that movie, The Gray Man, the one that he just did, he's hilarious. He's effortless. I can never tell any time in any movie he's been in if he's acting. I've never seen him seem like he's trying.
Yeah, I agree. I watch Ryan Gosling movies. I mean, I thought even The Notebook was his performance.
He's great. Half Nelson is crazy. He's great. He's killer in everything.
So you think in a Ryan movie that Gosling would kind of carry Reynolds?
I don't think he'd carry him. I just think that.
He would shine a little brighter.
Well, I think they would both shine. They're both super talented and they're both very funny. But I think it would have to be. I think that when I see Ryan Reynolds try to pull off like the super hardcore dramas, which he doesn't anymore, but when he did, it's like, okay, yeah. But like when I watch Ryan Gosling do that, I'm like, oh, like Blue Midnight or whatever that one was. Dear Lord. That scene in the car is heartbreaking when she goes, I just hate that you have a job you have to drink every day. He goes, no. Correction, I have a job that I can drink every day and do. And I'm just like, yeah, anyway.
I love that you can quote these movies just like that. They really stick with you, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I love movies more than, it's my favorite thing. I love to watch movies. I love to make movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did one called Clone Cops. And it was super fun. It was awesome. I had a blast.
Well, I can do Caddyshack and Stripes, and that's I'm getting older and I don't remember lines as much as I used to. But anyway, so Spirited. I hope this turns into another tradition Christmas movie for us. Right now the must-sees in my house are Elf with my wife. What was it, Santa Claus? Mm-hmm. With Kurt Russell. There's two of them. We're going to have to watch both of them. Polar Express, that's a must for me. And then this looks actually quite cute.
I'll give you my musts before we sign off.
All right.
Die Hard, Gremlins.
Die Hard.
It's a Wonderful Life. Just Friends. That's a Christmas movie. It's very funny. With Ryan Reynolds, and it's probably his finest performance. He's hilarious.
No, The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking Ryan Gosling.
Those are my kind of go-to. I mean, I love It's a Wonderful Life and all the old.
Yeah.
I love Scrooged.
Yeah.
And I really love Ernest Saves Christmas. Did you work on that?
No. I just went to jail with Ernest.
Oh, I wish you'd worked on it.
I just went to jail. So anyway, all right. So next week we're going to cover Spirited, Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds. You guys watch it in between this podcast and next podcast because it comes out November 11th.
Opening night I'm watching.
So, yeah.
Yep. And, I know what I'm doing Friday.
And, yep, same here. Big bowl of popcorn. Get the family around, which really consists of just me and my wife now. The kids have grown up and have their own lives. But, all right. Guys, thank you for tuning in this week for Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.
Until next week. Talk to you later. Bye.